Well, I'll wait a second. Well, we have clouds over St. Louis, but for much of the metro area, just a bit of lighter rain. We haven't had the heavy stormy weather that we've seen to the north of St. Louis, at least not yet. It very well may be coming to the St. Louis area. Some's trying to develop across the region again, even as we speak. So we wanted to get you caught up on what's going on. First of all, we still have an ongoing flooding and flash flooding situation here to the north. Montgomery, Macoupin County, Greene, Jersey County, Calhoun County, Pike County, Missouri, Pike County, Illinois. We've seen upwards of 3 to 6, maybe 7 inches of rain. Hornsby has had some, one of the roads washed out by a culvert. We've got water over the roads in Litchfield on Highway 16 in town. Some of the side streets have a foot or two of water standing on them, and there's still more rain to come. Now, it's not as impressive as the areas of rain we were looking at earlier that pelted these areas up to our north, but there's still a pretty good line of thunderstorms here out to the west of St. Louis. Just kind of looking at this a little bit closer here, you know, the cell we're watching here coming out of Montgomery County and into northern portions of Warren County and into Lincoln County. This one's one to watch. It's strong as it's approaching the Troy area right now. We'll zoom in on that for you and kind of take a look here at how that's moving in. Millwood, probably some small hail there. Same thing in Hawk Point, but as you go along 47, you know, this is coming into Troy now. It'll be in Winfield pretty soon. Earlier, going up and down Highway 79 was a problem with that heavy rain, and now we have some of that heavy rain north of Troy, and it's about ready to move into the Troy area. Now, up in Bowling Green, not as much with this batch. You've had so many rounds of showers and thunderstorms here north of St. Louis that the atmosphere has worked over. So even though your cold front's now actually pressing in, and that's forcing thunderstorms to try to develop, the air that they're working with has been worked over by the previous shower and thunderstorm activity. So I brought out the view again, and you're looking at some of those stronger storms that stretch here from around Carlisle Lake off over to the north of Kimunday, St. Elmo, Vandalia, Mount Olive, still getting some rain in here. This area here east of St. Louis, you got to watch that sliding off to the east. It doesn't look like that's going to be overly intense. Yes, you're getting downpours. Yes, there's cloud to ground lightning. We're also starting to see here in the metro area pockets of rain picking up. So let's zoom in here to the metro. We haven't had a lot of rain overall around St. Louis today. I mean, there were pockets earlier where we had some showers and thunderstorms bubble up here, especially in North St. Louis County. But this is new development here right close to the radar site that's out into Cottleville, St. Peters, parts of O'Fallon, moving into St. Charles, moving into Bridgeton and Maryland Heights, down to Creve Coeur. And you'll get some brief downpours with this, and you might very well see some gusty winds at times. All right, so let's talk about rainfall. To the north of St. Louis, the amount of rain has been huge over the last 12 hours. Upwards of 5 to 7 inches around Litchfield. Upwards of 5 to 7 inches as you go in that area from Palmyra down to Carlinville. Back out towards Rockbridge here, north of Shipman, over to Carrollton. I mean, it has been a rough drive on these country roads here to the north of St. Louis, and certainly over the farm fields that now probably have a lot of standing water. This has not been good for the farmers today. They're on the edge. A drought for so long, then it's been very wet this spring, hard to even get the ground worked up when you could get it worked up and get planting in. And then if you were able to, now, you know, the fields are flooded. If you weren't able to plant yet, we're running out of time because, you know, it's almost June. There's still a flash flood warning there in northern Phelps County, although the rain has let up and we haven't really heard of any big problems in that area. So this is just kind of the broader view. Are they? Okay. So the lightning's starting to ramp up a little bit. Jimmy's here out in St. Charles. And you can see that's probably that cluster there. That's probably growing and under the influence of the approaching front. Now the question is is this front going to be able to kick up? There's an outflow boundary that's coming down right there. It's dropping out of the storms from the north. Is that going to have any impact when it interacts with that front? And that may be helping to kick off some of this activity that we're seeing here along Highway 70 out in St. Charles County and in the city of St. Charles now. So kind of gone downhill there around Main Street at this point. This is just one of the computer simulations as to what might happen going through the next couple of hours or so. So just kind of pushing these storms through. Some of them could still be strong to severe. Severe thunderstorm watch does continue for most of our area. I think your threat from Bowling Green back to the north and west is over, but the rest of us still under that severe thunderstorm watch. You get this down towards Farmington, over across the river, towards Waterloo and over towards Shiloh and Nashville by 10, 11 o'clock tonight. Then it starts to slide away from us, and we think we should have a very nice day tomorrow. So we say we think tomorrow is the pick day of the weekend for sure, right? We don't see any problems for tomorrow. Now we jump into Sunday, and you notice where the severe weather threat is. Centered kind of over St. Louis, level 3 out of 5. And all the threats are on the table Sunday. But here's the thing with Sunday. There's really 2 time frames where we could see some impressive storms. One's going to be first thing in the morning, right around daybreak, or thereafter with a cluster of storms that potentially rolls in. And then depending on how big that storm cluster is and if it's able to stabilize the air when the actual front arrives, kind of like what we've seen to the north of St. Louis, like that could be the main show early in the day, and then we never ever really get a chance to get warm and steamy enough again to fuel storms when the front comes through. Now, that aside, we still have the front to come through later in the day, and that could also produce wind, hail, maybe some tornadoes if we're unstable enough. That's what we don't know. So those are the questions we have for Sunday. Sunday, we could end up getting everything out of the way during the morning and through about lunchtime, and then the afternoon and evening, because the atmosphere is worked over, isn't too bad, and it turns out okay. Or what we see coming in during the morning, right around daybreak here, this area of showers and thunderstorms could be less expansive. Maybe it's severe, maybe it's not. Maybe it ends a little bit sooner. If it does, then we get much more unstable. We warm up, we get steamy, and we wait on the cold front to come in during the evening hours, and that's when things could go pow and big thunderstorms break out. We don't know. I mean, that's just the simple answer for us right now. We just don't know. So because of that, Sunday is also a storm alert day. So back to our radar for right now. The big thing is the flooding that's ongoing, and they've extended the flash flood warning over. It was set to expire at 7:45 in eastern portions of Macoupin into Montgomery County, including Litchfield, including Hillsborough up to Wagner, Farmersville. That's extended now. It's going to go later. The flash flooding in these areas, it's going to take a while to drain that kind of water, right? So the storms around St. Louis continue to grow and continue to perk up. So we take a look at those right now as they're coming into the metro. These have actually just been bubbling up right over us. And the atmosphere around St. Louis is still unstable. We still have favorable conditions for severe thunderstorms to develop. They're not perfect, but that chance is certainly there. We're continuing we're continuing to monitor this. I would think the worst case scenario right now is you get some pea-sized hail out of this. And some of this probably does impact the Cardinals game here in a little bit. Add some lightning back in there, and I don't know if we see much lightning. Jimmy, how did it look on the lightning here?
Yeah, it looks like it's definitely ramping up right around Bridgeton.
Okay.
Some lightning strikes. Bridgeton and right along Interstate 270.
Well, I just clicked it on. I guess mine must not be liking the lightning data right now. It's probably lagging just a bit. Yeah, it's stopped. It's going to take it a few minutes. My computer's a little slow. So anywho, but yeah, so we're picking up some lightning there out by the airport. Let's see if we can't get you the airport camera.
Air looks like it's kind of ramping up a little bit over there.
Let me go there. That's what it looks like over Forest Park right now. Let's go out and see if we can't get out to the airport. So the airport's finally getting some rain. They have not had much in the way of rain today. In fact, up until the last 5-10 minutes or so, I don't think it's rained at all. And I'm looking to see if they've actually started reporting the rain yet. As of 7:25, they had not. That was the last observation. But we did have a gust earlier today. It was close to 50 miles per hour. So North St. Louis County, you're going to get a storm. Right now, this does not look like it's a severe storm, right? But it's a good-sized storm. It's going to produce some hail, probably going to produce some gusty winds. So we'll stop it, and we'll kind of take you on a tour in here. So Florissant, it's moving towards Blackjack. It's moving into Blackjack as we speak and headed towards 367. So all of our North County communities here, you're about to get that drenching rain, pouring at the airport now, pouring in Hazelwood, St. Anne as well. And then you go right back across the Blanchette Bridge and you pick it back up from St. Charles and then go up 94 to Boshertown. And then it's pretty much wound down as you go back into the rest of St. Charles County until you run into that line, which is out here across Lincoln County. And you know, that line really, if we just kind of back it up, Jimmy, that line looks like, if anything, it's been weakening a little bit here. So, yeah. Yeah, so that one there is getting a little more intense. What's over the metro area has been ramping up, but again, still doesn't look anything like the storms that we were seeing up to our north today, which were so loaded with hail. You know, this is the last hour, just kind of back and forth here, loaded with hail. So the severe thunderstorm watch continues for much of our area. There's the storms over here east of St. Louis, from Carlisle Lake over to just west of Flora. I'm pretty sure not only have they been producing some heavy rain, but there's been some pea-sized hail in there, but I can't imagine that there's much more than that pea-sized hail in there with those storms as they continue to go off to the east. Again, the rainfall has been dramatic north of St. Louis, upwards of 5 to maybe 7 inches in spots, parts of Montgomery and Macoupin counties, Greene and Jersey County. So those areas are areas of concern and areas where you know, you don't want to be out driving tonight on those roads given standing water and it being difficult to see during the nighttime hours, and you don't even know if the road's there. And a lot of times you're on that flatter farmland or slightly gentle rolling hill farmland, and you've got water covering the road, and you really can't even tell where the field is versus where the road is. So it becomes an issue trying to figure that out. So here's the storms, again, taking a look at them as they continue to bubble up across the area. We are not overly concerned right now. There's nothing imminent here with the severe threat, although this is a strong storm going through North St. Louis County right now, up in Florissant, moving into Spanish Lake and Blackjack. That's heading for the Chain of Rocks Bridge. It'll cross the river, should get into Wood River, probably gets into Alton too. That storm that's out pretty close to Herman, that one's a fairly intense storm, but again, it doesn't look severe at this point. And the storms farther to the north of St. Louis, that air has been worked over by continual thunderstorms all afternoon. Since around lunchtime, we had thunderstorms starting to pop up to the north of St. Louis, and they just have percolated and moved over the same areas with that drenching rainfall and all of the problems that go along with that for our agricultural community up that way. So you're still looking at the strong storm here, North St. Louis County, kind of flowing right along the Missouri River. It'll kind of flirt with much of the Orchard Farm School District area and sliding over towards West Alton. And then the storms out here by Troy and out towards Wright City and out towards Herman, that'll be heading towards Berger and New Haven. Those storms, they're strong, but again, at the moment, we are severe free across the area. They're not severe thunderstorms right now. They are strong storms that continue to press through the area. And the ones around St. Louis are getting a little bit stronger. So I would say North St. Louis County, you could expect some pea-sized hail out of some of those thunderstorms as they continue to grow and build. And the fact that it's still a bit unstable around the St. Louis area for sure. So you definitely have that potential of seeing some of the intense weather sliding over and in through the metro area during the course of the next hour or so, especially over the north side of the metro area. Now, they're playing baseball over at Busch Stadium, where they were trying to. I don't think the game actually had started. Last we heard, they were going to try to start at 7:55, which was kind of, Jim and I thought, yeah, it's still delayed. Jim and I thought that would be a little strange since you had thunderstorms actually developing now. A lot of, up in Pike County, Missouri, the emergency manager is reporting 5 inches of rain in east central Pike County. And he said they still have some water standing in multiple places and a lot of the gravel roads washed out in the same area. 7.6, oh yeah. Whew. Oh, that was over in Montgomery County, Illinois. Goodness gracious. Yeah, well, that's what the radar was estimating that, Jimmy, so yeah. All right, so that's a look at Busch Stadium. This is what's coming into downtown St. Louis, some rain. So I guess we'll just wait. They'll just wait on that game. We do want to put in here, now that we've got this storm in the metro area, and we're with you, might as well look at the wind field in that. And you know, what you don't see here, first of all, you don't see red up against green, which is good. So we're not seeing any rotation in there. We're also not seeing any really bright colors. And it's the bright colors that are the problem colors. Because once you get the bright colors, that indicates the stronger winds. And we are not seeing that right now. So that's great news here for North St. Louis County. But it's not so great if you're trying to drive along 270 here from Washington Elizabeth over towards McDonald and over towards Lindbergh and going around towards the Rock Road. You've got some heavier rain you're still dealing with through that area and will. And that includes around Lindbergh all the way up to 367. So, you know, it's heavy rain, sub-severe storms through the metro area, maybe some small hail in here. You have more back to the west and to the northwest across Lincoln County, stretching down here into western Warren County and northern Warren County, kind of flanking either side of Warrenton, and then out there around Herman. Now these storms that are a little farther to the southwest down here towards Freeburg in Missouri, those are in an area where the atmosphere really hasn't been worked over much. So, you know, we go down to the Springfield radar site, and they've got some strong storms right around Springfield, but really they're not seeing as much develop along this front either. So, I mean, when you look at this, and you just kind of put this into motion, you see the active weather, there's plenty of it, sure, but again, not looking at a huge amount of severe potential north of St. Louis right now. And what's out to our west is not strengthening, it's maintaining its strength. Now, we have had those storms kind of blossom here, as they approach North St. Louis County. And some of these storms out here to the east of us, they're a little strong, from Lone Grove to Kim-Monday down to Salem, Iuka. They're approaching Flora, Centralia, but they don't look severe. They just look strong. Probably P to up to dime-size hail maybe, and that might be about it. So those are strong storms, sure, but they don't look severe. And here are the ones in North St. Louis County, kind of going through all of North County right now with some pretty good rain here. As you go along Parker Road, you know, you pick that up at 367 and then go all the way back over to Lindbergh, and you're really looking at that whole area just getting drenched right now. There's 270, all drenched in through this area. Heavy rain right now, heavy rain. And maybe some pea-size hail, but nothing severe, and the winds don't seem to be too bad. In fact, the winds outside of the thunderstorms today, looks like Lambert gusted close to 50 miles per hour at one point this afternoon, and that didn't have anything to do with the thunderstorm. And now with that thunderstorm at Lambert, they gusted to 23 miles per hour, and that's it. So, but it's cooled back to 72 degrees, so there's a quick adjustment for you there. So that's where we are right now, Jimmy. Jim Castillo and I here in the Weather First Weather Center. We're tracking these storms for you. While they are strong, at the moment they are not severe. The strongest storms are approaching Interstate 57 east of St. Louis, from Effingham down approaching Flora, and then down through Kim-Monday to Salem to Centralia. They're moving eastbound. You have a line out to the west of St. Louis that's strong but doesn't necessarily look severe at this point. And then you have the little patch that's in North St. Louis County and up into St. Charles County. That's going to drift over into Madison County in Illinois. And yes, there is some rain falling in downtown St. Louis right now as this system pulls on through. And that further delays the Cardinals and Cubs matchup tonight. So with nothing being severe at the moment, we'll remind you that the severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect for much of the area, pretty much all of the St. Louis area right now. And we will continue to monitor these storms as they continue to slide through the region. We'll evaluate how things are going and how they're moving. But right now they're strong but not severe. If we get some warnings, we will pop back on here with you, but we just wanted to kind of, as we're coming up on sunset here in St. Louis, we wanted to kind of help you if you had some plans outside or you're trying to squeeze some things in, just let you know what was going on. Again, the storms out along east of Herman now, those are pretty intense. We've got a couple of minutes, why don't we just do that? Here are the storms right along the Missouri River, southern Warren County, northern portions of Franklin County, northeastern Gasconade County, so New Haven, Highway 100 there, Pinckney. These will be into Marthasville and Washington soon. Warrenton, about ready to get another pretty good heavy shower there. The other spot where we had some pretty intense storms, more so than most, is this spot here, the area around Centralia up to Salem to Kim-Monday, and just east of Vandalia. That's got some pea-size hail for sure. And then you go back into the metro, and on the north side of the metro, that's where we have the heaviest rain right now. North St. Louis County, up along the 270 loop on the north side, and then crossing the Mississippi River, headed towards Alton and Godfrey. But again, it doesn't look severe. So we'll let you go for now, and we'll keep you updated as we continue through this evening.